Hi, everyone, and welcome to my insurance lecture on homeowners insurance. Through a series of videos, I'll be going over the industry standard homeowners policy to give you a basic understanding of how a homeowners policy is structured. This is homeowners insurance part 2. And in this video, I'm going to go over 3 categories of coverage: basic, broad, and special. I'll be going through the perils that are covered in those categories, and then I will talk about the HO policies and how basic, broad, or special categories are related to the HO policies. In this video, I'm going to lay down a foundation that will hopefully assist you when memorizing perils and learning coverages for each HO policy. What are perils? The insurance definition for a peril is a cause of loss. For example, fire, flood, and hail, to name a few. A peril is the reason the loss occurred. The fire burnt down the house. The fire is the reason the house burnt down. Therefore, the fire is the peril. If a part of a homeowner's policy indicates that it covers named perils, this means that the only perils the policy will cover are those that are listed or named in the policy. Now, open perils, also known as all risk coverage, indicate that all perils would be covered. Here's a quick disclaimer. You would like to think that open peril coverage covers everything, and it does technically. However, you will soon learn that most policies that have open peril coverages will include a lengthy list of exclusions to exclude certain perils from being covered. So I just explained that there are named peril coverages and open peril coverages. If the policy insures coverages on a named peril basis, it means that the perils of what is covered will be listed in the insuring agreement of an HO policy. So under a named peril coverage, I want to teach you the coverages that are listed or named in 2 different categories: basic coverages and broad coverages, so that you can have a platform to assist you when studying to memorize what's covered. Now, with an all risk or open peril policy, there is no need to memorize perils because there are no perils listed. An open peril policy means that all perils are covered, other than what is excluded. So more importantly, you're going to want to know what perils are excluded in an open peril policy to know what's covered. Essentially, there will be 3 categories of coverage: basic coverages, broad coverages, and all risk, which are also open peril coverages. Okay, so here are your basic peril coverages. You have your fire, lightning, removal, wind, hail, riot and civil commotion, vehicles, volcanic eruptions, explosion, smoke, vandalism and malicious mischief, and theft. These are all your basic coverages for your basic perils. Now, I like to categorize these coverages because it'll make it easier to remember. So if you look here, then you'll notice that these are your standard fire policy coverages. You have your fire, lightning, and removal, which is also the first 3. Just a side note, I will say, if you haven't already studied dwelling policies, check out my dwelling policy video because you will get a better understanding of these perils and the acronyms that I like to use. Okay, so just to continue, you have your standard fire policy perils. You have your fire, lightning, and removal. Then you have an acronym that I use is the WARVs, which is also in a dwelling policy as your extended coverage endorsement. That's the ECE. And that is wind, hail, riot and civil commotion, vehicles, volcanic eruption, explosion, smoke. So those are your WARVs with two V's. Then you have VMM, which is vandalism and malicious mischief, and then there's theft. These are the groupings of what is covered under your basic coverage. So why is it important to know and memorize basic and broad perils? It's because there are 7 different homeowners policies, and unless that policy covers open perils, it's going to be easy when you already understand what perils are listed under your basic coverages and what perils are listed under your broad coverages. So for instance, if you have a question on your exam about an HO1, you will know that your HO1 homeowners form is a basic form that covers basic perils, and these are the basic perils they cover. So you may get something like on an exam like an HO1 covers all except, and then they have option A as lightning, option B smoke, option C glass breakage, and option D could be theft. And right away you're going to be like, wait, glass breakage isn't a basic coverage, so HO1 covers all those except glass breakage, and there you have your answer. So this is why it's important to know what's covered under your basic and then what's covered under your broad coverages. Next are your broad coverages. Broad coverages are going to include your basic perils. So all of these basic perils are what are covered on your basic form, your basic coverages, but it's also going to include additional coverages. So you'll have, which I have another acronym for that, which is big effect. You have your burglary damage, that's the B, and then for the I is ice, for the weight of ice and snow. You have glass breakage for the G, accidental discharge or overflow of water for the A, falling objects, freezing of plumbing, electrical damage for the E, collapse for the C, tearing apart, cracking, burning, steam, heating, air, or system. And that's pretty big for the T, but that should help you at least grasp the understanding. So these are your broad coverages. Your broad coverages include your basic and in addition, your big effect, all of these additional coverages. So an HO4, which is a renter's policy, will have broad coverages. So in order to know what's covered in a renter's policy, what perils are covered, you're going to want to know your broad coverage perils, which is your basic coverage perils, including your big effect. All right, and here are a list of your different HO policy forms. You have your HO1, your basic, HO2 is your broad form, HO3 is your special, HO4 is your renters or tenants form, HO5 is called a comprehensive form, HO6 would be your condominium form, and then HO8 is a modified coverage form. So I do want to thank you for viewing my video. This is the end of part 2. Please like and subscribe. For those of you who are wondering what materials I would recommend for your insurance journey. I provided a link below where you can purchase courses and study material through Kaplan Financial. They do have many insurance courses. Typically will recommend their insurance manual for study material, but they also provide study tools such as flashcards. They have English and Spanish flashcards, and they have quick study sheets. Please use the link below and get the 10% off your order. And thank you very much for viewing my video. Again, my name is Rebecca, and I am your insurance lady.